Hello and welcome to the Horror House Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm Chris.
I'm Jeff.
And we talk about horror and shit, so let's talk about it. Fellas, welcome. People, welcome. Come on in. Bring your friends. Bring your family. Dave, do you want to show them where you're at this week?
I am podcasting from my house of dead bodies. Guys. Oh,
I can smell that from here.
Come on in. Make yourself at home.
I think this is my favorite of your background so far.
It's the best one.
Which kind of bums me out that you're not going to have your best internet for a little while longer, because that would have been... But...
we might have to revisit some stuff. When we do the Chuddies, maybe I rotate some backgrounds through.
The greatest hits. I'm there for it.
As voted on by the fans. So hit us up on the socials if we can get the socials up. And
hold on, I'm new.
Let us know what backgrounds you liked, backgrounds you want to see.
Yeah, and there they are. Go do those things if you want. We're not your real dad. But first, anything you guys would like to talk about before we get into that first segment that we always do? I'm keeping as a surprise until we do it each time for some reason.
I don't know what it's going to be.
I mean, I don't know why it needs to be a surprise, but
yeah, but
I mean, it's not really a surprise.
You're hosting the show with a TikTok celebrity.
Oh,
this is my first TikTok video. So,
you're gonna have to give us your. Is TikTok at something? Is that how they do that too? I'm not sure. I'm on it every day, but I don't know.
I believe it's @snide pineapple.
There you go. Jeff, what is? Are you on TikTok?
I am, but I just mainly have it for like people send me like TikToks.
Oh.
And they want you to like have an account to like watch them. Yeah.
Oh.
I think I saw you the other day. I think Jeff is the Russian bot account. He's like @user 1093365.
Yeah.
Jeff's
I haven't even put my name on it or nothing like that. It's still like user blah 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 blah.
You're like, I'm not commenting on this shit. Just let me see it.
Right.
All right. With that said,
the videos.
But I am like that, but with Facebook, because I don't have a Facebook account anymore. So when Dave shows me the reels, I can't see the reels anymore. So I just have to pretend. I'm like, good work, Dave. Killed it.
It makes me feel good inside.
But you did kill it. I've got complete trust in you. I already know you killed it. So, you know.
I'll start sending them to your wife.
You could do that. Speaking of which,
the fuck is he sending me Facebook videos for?
She will make. She has a contribution for this episode in a way, and she don't even know it yet. But we'll get to that. But first, it is time. Let's go.
Love it.
Is Tim here? Tim needs to come. Let's get into some news. This is the surprise. Every time it's got to be a surprise. Dave, it looks like you could operate your laptop with your mouth. Okay, now it doesn't look like that. It looks like you're going too far now. You're not at the laptop anymore.
Okay. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm tooing in the laptop.
Why don't you give us some news first? Why don't you start us on some news? What's your shirt, actually? What's your shirt? Is it a horse shirt?
Yeah.
Oh, let's zoom in on that.
Tapper's Bar.
Nice.
Yeah.
If you're in the Indianapolis area, man, check them out. Really cool dudes. Free arcade games. You have to pay to play the pinball. Pinball games take a lot of maintenance to keep them healthy. And good drinks, good beer. They got some whiskeys now.
We didn't win a horror trivia contest there, but we came in second, third.
Third.
I don't remember.
We placed.
And we got prizes. So.
And it's amazing we placed, because I was feeling really good. I remember going crazy for the movie, the Ricky movie, Kung Fu movie. I love Kung Fu movies.
Oh. So give us the news, Dave.
Wow.
Give us your first news.
All right, I'm going to start with this. I already saw Longlegs. It's about to come out of the theaters already as I'm talking, and I thought it was one of the best well-marketed movies that we'd seen in a while, and they just continue. So now, for the last week, Longlegs is going to be in the theaters. If your birthday falls on the 14th of any month, you get in to see Longlegs for free. And that's a thing from the movie, like having your birthday on the 14th. So this is brilliant marketing. It's not just like, oh, we picked a random day. No, it's solid in the movie. So good on you, Longlegs. This is some good marketing.
I
can't wait till it's
heard nothing of this. So when it reaches me, it's excellent marketing, because I try to avoid everything. I don't want to see any ad ever for anything. So
I can't wait till this is available for streaming, so I can hear what you guys think about this. So
as soon as it comes out, we're gonna insert it into the. I'm cool. Let's do that.
One thumb for me, one thumb for Baskin Guy. So it's getting 2 thumbs up from us.
I should get it like a cop siren, like warning. I have to build it up now. I just have to keep building it up every time he's mentioned, or the joke loses its jokiness. So
back.
Eventually you're going to mention him, and I'm going to just disappear for the rest of the episode. I'm not going to say when. It may be in 12 years. Who knows? But some news. Fangoria Studios is teaming up with Junji Ito. I can't pronounce things.
Bless you.
I'm sorry. Who does these horror mangas. I think there's been some anime of them, and they're fucked up. I've read some of the stories. I've not seen any of the movies, the anime, but they're making 3 live action adaptations, which the few that I've seen, I don't even know how you would translate that to live action. So I hope Fangoria has a lot of money that they're ready to spend, because this could be wacky, and I'm ready to see it. I should have got some pictures, because you guys are both looking at your phones, so
I am taking notes. Thank you.
The old-fashioned way of looking at your phone.
Old-fashioned note, phone, which is a notebook and a pen. I'm very concerned when you say that, because it's hard for me to believe Fangoria is dumping money into this thing. Nothing on Fangoria.
I didn't know
it just seems like these are like way out there stuff
for a magazine that was defunct for a little bit there, and now they're gonna start making movies. I don't know if they already are. I thought they were just magazine now, because they had worked on movies before. I don't know that I've seen a couple of them, but
I guess they're back at it. They were more a distribution house, but
I think they made.
I'm for it. I'm for it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do. Dave,
give us your thoughts on this, man. I got to hear what Jeff thinks about this, or if he's thumbing up, thumbing down, or if he's okay. Jeff bought in. I'm in.
Okay, give us your news.
I don't have a whole lot tonight. So the next thing I have is there is a trailer now for Terminator Zero, which, remember, we talked about this. It is the Netflix original anime Terminator movie. And the anime looks cool. It is back to it looks like it is back to the Terminator as a horror movie genre. So Terminator and Aliens, I always said those are two movies that the first one to come out was horror, and the next one went full into the action.
Right.
So this is looks like a return to horror, and I'm in.
And when does this come out?
Oh, God damn it. You son of a bitch. Why you gotta ask me these hard questions?
Soon. Just, you could do the proverbial soon.
August 29th.
Oh.
So, less than a month from now.
All right.
4 short weeks. We'll get Terminator Zero. Oh, maybe this is an opportunity to bring the old Tim Happens back for another anime.
Well, we can do that. August is kind of packed full of a couple things that I'm interested in. Now, that's one of them. So stop, August. You're full. Slow down. Next up, August 30th. On Shudder, AMC will be the last episode of The Last Drive-In. They're ending it with the end of this season with a night marathon, six movie marathon to end it out. I'm shocked that they even got to do one season, which is incredible. So the fact they got through 6 is fantastic. And as long as Shudder's a thing, certainly these things will be a thing. So that's cool.
Oh, yeah. I really have to applaud Bob. I remember back to Bob's Drive-In Theater and Monster Vision, and really kind of even before that with USA Up All Night and shit. But Joe Bob has stood the test of time, man. And adapted with the times, because
I don't know that I'd be on doing the Horror House if it wasn't in part for him and Monster Vision.
The audience engagement he gets, and it's taken on a life of its own. And I mean, we owe Joe Bob Briggs our thanks for bringing us Darcy the Mail Girl. Man, she is America's sweetheart.
We'll go with that.
Yeah.
She is a wrestling fan as well, so I see her in the crowd at AEW shows every now and then. And she dresses like Darcy the Mail Girl in her regular life, so the cameras are always around her at the AEW shows, which is fun.
If I may for just a moment pontificate, I'm a girl dad, and I do follow Darcy on Twitter, and she has been pretty public with we're men, we see her, like we see what she looks like, and on Twitter there have been some times where she pontificates about her body issues, and it's like, you're insecure with your body because you look like $1 million fucking bucks. And so
human condition.
I appreciate that she can admit, like, hey, body issues are real, and everyone has confidence issues at sometimes, and that's great for a great message, because yeah, I mean, of course, or Chris never has body issues, but you know, so most of us have some kind of issues sometimes, imposter syndrome or confidence issues, and so when a celebrity is open about that and not always trying to project like they have this perfect life and everything's amazing and I always feel great about myself, it makes them feel more human, and good on you, Darcy. You know, I love you you are seem like a great person. Joe Bob seems like a great guy outside of the celebrity stuff. You know, you never really know somebody unless you know them. But they seem like really good people as well as just like celebrities. So
yeah,
that's it.
Amen. It's ending. They deserved. They deserve it. They deserve the recognition. Let's. Last bit of news. Dave was unsure if we should talk about it, but the Satanic Olympics happened. Oh, I did that. I love you. Sorry. It was cool. It was cool what I seen of it. Gojira. I love Gojira. And that whole thing. I mean, I could see a certain aspect of American culture being like, that's satanic, even though nothing about it was. But it was cool. And
clearly this was the whole they made fun of the Last Supper thing. You didn't care when other people have made fun of the Last Supper thing, or if you did, you weren't vocal about it. So, you know, I don't want to hear that. Plus, it wasn't about the Last Supper. There's a reason why Feast of Dionysus seems like a tableau of the Last Supper, and it could be that all of these religions are very interrelated in their ancestral roots. And
they're inbred? Did you just say religion is inbred? That's what I heard. That's what I heard.
Very close. As an ordained minister, I would say that all these things come from our shared history. And you know, if you don't believe in this God or that God, isn't your God powerful enough to talk to all of the world and all of the peoples of the world in all times in a way that they can understand? So shouldn't these messages be very similar? Like, doesn't that prove that we have unity in vision and messaging? And
so what's our religion and horror episode from season 1? I think.
I think so. I think I'm kind of. We could do another one at some point. I'm in, but
yeah.
Also, don't get fucking offended. God damn, I don't know why people get offended about shit. Like, there's almost nothing that can't be made fun of. In fact, if you're someone who routinely says like, you shouldn't make fun of that, we're probably not friends.
Dave,
I'm pretty vocal that like everything should be made fun of.
I pretty much agree. That said, there's Dave's review of the Olympics 2024.
I'm having a great time. Flavor Flav and Snoop Dogg, man, these guys are great. These guys are great. They are America's mascots. So
there you have it. Jeff, take us out of the news. Somehow, and I don't have any fucking idea how, when that video ends, the Horror House like weekly news thing fades into this scene. I didn't do that. I don't know how that happens, but every time, and I'm just amazed by it every time. I'm like, damn.
Future Chris did a favor for past Chris by coming back in time and setting it up.
Maybe.
Like, remember all the times past Chris carry me? I'm going to take care of past Chris one time. I preach the gospel of doing favors for future you. I always talk about that at work now. My thing, like, do yourself a favor in the future by doing this now.
It works. It works. Jeff, how do you feel about helping future Jeff? You're like, I can...
Tremendously.
Okay. Make sure you were on board of the helping future you train.
Definitely.
Okay. And you should be too, Rabble. It just helps. Helps so much.
It's good stuff. Good stuff. Be kind to your future stuff.
Yeah. I'm not a big fan, honestly, of the system on certain days when it comes to the podcast, because there are times from Friday to the next Wednesday where I'm like, I don't want to watch a movie. And then Wednesday, I'm like, fuck, I gotta watch this movie and think about it and write things about it. But not this time. Not this time. This movie is... Are we,
Special. This movie is special.
It is something.
Had you seen this before? Before I give my summary, Jeff, had you seen this before?
No.
I saw it.
Chris?
I saw it a couple years ago, and it's been a couple years, and some repressed memories since then. I think I saw it pretty close to when it first came out on streaming. So
show me on the Toxic Avenger doll where how the house that Jack built hurt you.
If I could circle his head, that'd be about where it was. But Dave, give us your VHS, back of the VHS kind of summary for what the house of Jack... Oh, before that, this is your one spoiler warning alert. Jeff, tell him.
Yes, spoiler alert. We're going to ruin the movie.
Yeah.
And everything else.
Go watch it, come back.
And other stuff. Can we just give a spoiler alert for everything? We might talk about anything.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Other
Everything.
movies,
We're ruining everything.
Pop culture. I might tell you the leaked NFL 2024-2025 season script. This is your spoiler for all those things.
So you're telling me NFL is like wrestling? In that it's predetermined? Scripted?
It's scripted.
Intrigued.
It's
loosely scripted so that there's room for variation. If something catches fire in the year and they're like, we're gonna lean into this, change their mind. So.
Okay. But there's your spoiler.
Like wrestling, in that real life injuries happen, that sometimes forces them to change the script.
There you go. Dave, give us your VHS.
Spoiler alert for everything.
Yeah, from here on out, we spoil everything. That's really what we should do. From here on, expect everything. Give us your back of the VHS.
Right. Well, I actually think Jeff said it right. We're about to ruin everything. That sounds better than spoiled. That's more close to what we do. We ruin everything.
I tell you what.
To ruin everything.
I tell you what. If one more person tries to start using the Horror House Podcast as their podcast name, we're just gonna switch to We Ruin Everything.
Yeah, there you go.
And then we'll do anything. We won't even just do horror movies. Who knows? Who knows? I'm still salty about that. Anyways. Give us the back of a VHS summary, Dave, and go.
Right. After failing as a private detective to track down one man's long-lost prom date and failing to win her over for himself, a young Matt Dillon turns to murder to console himself. And he can't just murder these people. That's a waste of good bodies. So he decides to build a house out of them. And in this house is a basement, and in that basement is hell. Too strong? Too short?
Pretty on there. I'll take it. I'm starting to wonder why our slideshow keeps repeating itself. We've seen the same 3 images twice now. I just wanted to see if it actually shows. Okay, we're okay now. It may have been because I was trying to slow it down, and it was like, I'll just start over. But that last image, here's my wife's contribution, which she doesn't even know about. I was trying to find something to match your energy, Dave. And I was like, I got it. So for the rest of the show, I have Fonda's red work shirt that I'm going to drape over my head and pretend that I'm Jack for the rest of the episode. I was like, I gotta have a red shirt somewhere. I didn't have one at all. So I don't know what the fuck's going on right now.
I mean, if you watch a lot of the TikToks or the Facebook Reels and stuff like that, everybody who puts a shirt or a towel on their head is automatically a woman.
Oh. Also, anybody that would vote for a woman is a woman. Is a transitioning woman.
Science proved that, yes.
It's weird.
Thank God.
Weird.
Fox News is out there doing the hard science.
So, had either of you seen a Lars von Trier movie before this? I've seen one.
No idea.
I thought I had, because, like, he is known. His name is out there. Like, I knew Lars von Trier. Yeah, he does that kind of eccentric shit, that out there shit.
Yeah.
Then I don't believe so. I went through the filmography. It's not super extensive. Like, he's not got 20, 30 titles to his name. I have wanted to see Antichrist for a long time. And
that's the one I've seen.
Don't have an excuse for why I haven't. But I've not seen Lars von Trier.
I didn't know how bad my headphones would mess with this shirt. Welcome on in, Mac. Welcome on in, Mac. God damn. I've had one beer. Watch Dogville. I've heard something about that. Read it in my notes. But I have seen Antichrist, and it's in line with this for fucked up shit. If you want fucked up shit, Lars von Trier.
I want to watch it, and I also, on the advice of Baskin guy, I want to watch The Kingdom, which is about a hospital in Denmark, but it is supposed to be like almost like an X-Files, where it's a monster of the but it's all in the same hospital.
Okay. Some of the X-Files Monsters of the Week were my favorite episodes. But let's where do you want to start first with this? There's a lot to talk about.
Yes. Let's start with the first murder. One, the beautiful and talented Uma Thurman. We can talk about Matt Dillon. I thought he did a fantastic job, but each segment, I want to talk about Uma Thurman in this first segment because this is the only chance we get. She did such a good job because she really is playing this damsel in distress. And also, she's kind of a pushy bitch.
Oh my god.
And then she's fucking condescending. And I wouldn't have even killed her, except she really did fucking push him to it. I need to kill the bitch. Yeah, I'm just... Oh, come on. You can give me a ride. Okay, now give me a ride back. Okay, guess what? You're going to I can't do this myself.
Give me another ride back. And you know what? You couldn't kill anybody. You're a pussy. You look like a piece of shit. And then
after accusing him of being a serial killer. So yeah, she deserved to die.
I wouldn't have hit her in the face with a car jack, but I would have gave her a hefty push out of the vehicle at the very least. So
Can't say it wasn't effective.
oh God.
I mean,
Which brings up one thing. Jeff, do you know which version of this movie you watched, whether it was the R version or the unrated version?
I didn't know there was two different versions. I know there's a lot of other movies and shows that called The House That Jack Built.
Yeah. I tried to watch the uncut, and I think that is what I watched years ago. But this time I could only find the R version that was streaming anywhere. Me and Dave talked about this. I think we've all watched the R version. But
that is definitely what I watched.
my memories from the first time I watched it, there was more of, especially of that first one, of just obliteration. Oh my God. And later on, the girlfriend, the blonde girlfriend that we'll get into that. Jesus Christ, we'll get, and there was more of that. So if you want more violence, or if you can confirm that is what I watched, or I just maybe am just so traumatized by it that I am thinking that it was more than they showed. Possible.
Either way, good on you. When he smashes her in the face with that jack, then he talks about, so right at the start he's got this companion, even when it's black before you get images, he's got this companion he's talking to, and Burge.
Yep.
And right off the bat, my brain went to two possibilities. Possibility one, now this is not the way I mostly leaned, but possibility one, I thought, okay, so he's telling this story, he's probably now, because they're talking about walking somewhere. He's walking somewhere with Verge, and can I tell you the story? Sure, everybody tells me their stories. I thought, oh, Verge is probably the guy that's escorting him to his execution. The other possibility I thought right off the bat is, and I think you hear some splashing of water and some footsteps in the water and stuff like that, and it immediately made me think that Verge might be the ferryman who ushers the dead across the river Styx, and that's the version I am still going to maintain the end here. So you we'll get to that, but that's what I thought.
You don't know Dante's Inferno?
I know of Dante's Inferno. I know it's a book.
The Divine Comedy?
Yeah, the Divine Comedy, and that the Inferno is part of the book. And of course they made it into a video game. It was really good. But Virgil is the one who takes him through the layers of hell. So he's the guide.
I know like vaguely
the tour guide,
the Cliff Notes version of the Divine Comedy, and that as soon as you see the shots at the end, I was like, I love that it switched gears like that. And then listening, when you go back to it, that is the only reason I think you would ever want to go back to it, is to know what's happening with their conversations as it goes on. Otherwise, I don't know why you'd want to go back. But, I mean, you were right, Dave. You were right. Congratulations.
Burge is the tour guide for hell. And the conversation they're having here, said pieces of it get replayed later at the turn. And we'll get there. You know, I don't want to spoil it too soon for someone who hasn't seen everything. But at the turn where we're traveling, you get bits and pieces of the same conversation, which makes me think that these stories, as he's recounting them, not only is he recounting them, they're kind of reliving them. Kind of like when you the idea of that your life flashes before your eyes.
Right.
He's not just telling these stories, he's actually reliving these parts of his life. And we'll get into that later. I have a little bit of a theory that I've been working on.
Okay. Max says Verge is the same. Max says Verge is the same as Virgil, the poet that escorts Dante through hell in the Divine Comedy. But says Verge has this as his full-time job, it seems, and moves on from a spiritual level, bringing Jack from the living world to his judgment. This explains why he starts off by saying he's heard it all before. Jack's not the first murderer. Also, he calls him on his shit a lot too. Like, Jack tries to be like real profound and like very educated on certain things, and he'll start to pontificate and shit, and Verge is like, shut up. Shut your fucking lying ass up. That's not really that's not the truth. Which is great.
It's pretty clear that Jack is a pretty smart guy. I mean, he's an engineer, for Christ's sake. So, which is way better than an architect, because he actually builds things.
Isn't that what an engineer does? Draw houses? Chill.
If anything, this kind of, you've already made my point. You've reinforced my point from the Olympics. Verge ushering Dante through the levels of hell, being the tour guide through hell.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same job with a slightly different perspective as the ferryman ushering people across the river Styx into hell to Hades. So all the religions are the same.
It's a flat circle.
They're all true.
Jack is an artist working his way up to his masterpiece.
He hides the car, he throws the things, and he makes a comment here, and this is just kind of a throwaway thought. He makes the comment that, don't remember the friend's name that welds the jack for him, and, he's like, he saw me with her, she disappeared, he could have called the cops, and he never did. And I wonder if this isn't kind of their justification. He's talking to Virgil, and this is my justification for this, is like, obviously society is okay with violence against women, because otherwise he would have called the police on me, or he would have said when this girl goes missing, like, yeah, I saw him with Jack. So I feel like this is a little bit of him justifying, whether it's accurate or not, it's him justifying that. So,
and that's a good point. Is he even telling Virgil accurate recounts of these stories? Like, obviously something happened because he's going to hell, but he has this OCD that we see as it happens, as the story goes on. And I mean, there's dark comedy in this too. The cleaning of the crime scene, where he cleans, goes back to his van to leave, and then he's like, has a flash of, I gotta check under the chair, I gotta check under the painting, goes back, I don't know how many times, ridiculous amount, almost to the point, I mean, I was like, just fucking leave, dickhead. What are you doing with your life? I'm trying to save a serial killer. I'm like, go. Why are you? Let's go. But
I'm glad you said that, because I almost felt bad for him, because he's so fucking crazy, But
I mean, there's that, right? And obviously his house that he's building, his masterpiece that he's trying to create, but doesn't have the right materials for. But other things he doesn't give a fuck about, which is crazy. Like the woman the woman that he killed at the crime scene, dragging her. He didn't think anything was going to happen to that. Like you said, the first woman that he takes to the repair shop, the one screaming for help, all of this stuff, he just doesn't care about getting caught in these certain situations, and I don't have an idea how that works into that, because I figure if he's got this OCD about the crime scene, he wouldn't have this scream for help, do this, I'm gonna go talk to these people, I'm gonna kill this family out in the middle of a shooting range that anybody could come to, like throw caution to the wind kind of thing. So what does that mean?
He's psychotic.
I kind of thought
he's just crazy. I mean, pretty much.
I think it's deeper than that. I think this is deeper than that. So Jack kind of frames himself and these murders as art, and an artist can become so consumed with the art that everything else doesn't matter. And I think that's where Jack is. Like, it's not the blood because he's worried about getting caught, and I don't think he wants to get caught. I think Virgil says something like, are you upset because the rain came and washed the blood trail away because this was your chance to get caught? And there is long been this idea, especially in my past in Marvel Comics, this idea that villains actually want to get caught. And that's kind of how in the original Infinity Gauntlet they are able to defeat Thanos, because he kind of forgets about Adam Warlock, and in his subconscious he wants to be caught, or wants to be stopped. So
spoilers, I'm on Adam Warlock Adventures issue 4 right now. I can't, we ruin everything. I forgot. You're right.
We ruin everything. It's already been out there. I'm about to read the Doctor Doom books. We didn't talk. We could talk about that at the end. We'll come back around on that. But I think it's not the getting caught that worries him. If he's going to get caught, he doesn't want his art to be blemished. And if he leaves blood haphazardly in this woman's house, it's not that he's going to get caught. It's that he has left a dirty crime scene. Art is not complete, and so I kind of wonder if it's that.
So that part is the art. Anything outside of that is like
this is OCD.
Yeah. That kind of makes sense. I like that. I like that a lot, actually. It's just his tools, and he's like, if you're a real artist, you're not that worried about cleaning up your tools and shit. Like, you just want the piece to be the way you envision it. So, all right.
And that I think is strengthened by what happens at the end right before the turn. So get there, but incident number 2, the woman in the house. He also shows his cunning. He's trying to get into the house, and she's like, I see your badge. No. Good. You did right. You didn't let me in the house. That was great. Now can I come in the house?
I can give you money. I'm in.
and she falls for it. He does the thing where he sees this grocery store she works shops at, and he picks up on the plaque from her husband, and so he really is intelligent. He really is cunning, and I mean, in real life, most of these serial killers, a lot of them actually are. They're totally dysfunctional as a day-to-day human being, but when they're in hunt mode, they are very intelligent and very driven, and so I think Jack is a little bit of a reflection of that. But also gotta say, or ask, what did you guys think after he dragged her to the and he turned her over and it showed her face being scraped away? What did you think of the gore effect there?
I think the gore in this is pretty gnarly, is the best way I would. Yeah. There's nothing that I'm like, that's fake as shit. Everything is disturbing.
I 100% agree. Why we're talking on incident 2, when he pokes her with that little thing in their chest and then it squirts the blood.
Oh.
Blood rarely squirts from a human body, but if you perfectly pierce the heart like that, it's going to do that. I had a friend in high school that killed somebody with a 1-inch pocket knife because he stabbed him just right in the heart, and the guy bled out in minutes. And fuck that guy, but.
Well.
So that's super realistic. Super realistic.
Yeah.
Choked her out, and then she was still alive.
I hated the choking parts. I hated the choking parts in this movie. It's too real. Like, the first woman was pretty bad, and then she doesn't die. The one that doesn't even have an incident, I don't think. She's just like an in-between or something. Was there an incident for her? Because it happens, and then it's done. It's barely even... It could have not even been in the movie. It's so short of a scene. But that one, her whole part in the movie, I didn't look at the end credits, but it should have just been woman that gets choked, because that's what she was. Didn't have a name, didn't really know the relationship, other than I think him and Virgil were talking about some kind of like girlfriend or something at that one, but like not like the what would come later. But God, I hated that. I hated that scene so much because whoever that actress was killed it. Like, she had veins popping out of her head, and I'm like, oh.
And is that the one where he kills her, and then when he develops the film, he's not satisfied, so he sneaks her back into the fucking apartment?
Was that the one? I think it may be.
He chokes one bitch out.
I think, yeah.
He puts her in the freezer. He develops the film. It's not great, and he's like, the murders were calming my OCD. So he's again justifying the murder. Now it's not just art. Now it's not just, well, society let me get away with it. Now
right.
it was beneficial to me because it calmed my OCD. I wasn't OCD anymore. But the pictures weren't right, so I did sneak her back into the apartment, and I ran over a bitch along the way. Which and then when I wanted a lean in on this fucking montage. I want some 80s music and some goofy fucking 80s music. As he's posing the fucking dead bodies and shit. But again, he's creating art, man, and he liked the levity he produced in that moment and with the second body and stuff like that. So I also kind of think that led him to bigger and bigger things. You know, up until then, is he a one victim at a time guy, and now he's got two, and it's like, oh, I've doubled my pleasure by having two dead bodies to play with at a time.
Right.
So.
And that takes us to what would have been his last incident. And, you know, as I was watching it this time, thinking about, you know, he does treat the men victims differently. I mean, Virgil talks about that at one point about, like, is this just because you hate women? What is this? Because you're not talking about any of your male victims. And he's like, the male victims are harder to work with. The female victims are easier in the psychological aspect of this and that. But like, when he's setting up the gunshot to go through however many of them he had, I'm not even sure, like, he listens to them. He's like, that's not a Full Metal Jacket. And he like stopped, like, what are you? Okay, no, you're right. I mean, then he was pissed off, but like, he wasn't pissed off at the guys, where if that was a row of women that had done that, he would have shot each one of them and been like, all right. But I don't know.
There is a little bit different. I was just amazed that he had living victims in the freezer. Like, how did you pull this off? It is a total change of attitudes toward the victim, because there's a little bit of condescension to the victims before then, and here,
right,
this is an elaborate setup. He's got a gun, he's got them set up, I've got to get the right shot. It's out of focus, so he has to get that door open, and You never
Right.
like he tried to open the door a few times, but he never put the same effort into it. Because when he put the effort into it, now he does get it open. And the kills in between when he goes and he's trying to get the one. Oh, I just need one Full Metal Jacket round. And he goes to the gun shop. He leaves then, goes to the trailer. His alleged friend. That is not even art. He doesn't care about that. That's
Right.
just a kill of convenience. So again, this plays into his idea that everything outside of art can fuck off. I'm producing my art. So SP was a kill of convenience. The cop was a kill of convenience. And then he drives to the freezer, leaves the sirens on, goes inside. Like, he's not trying not to get caught at this point. It's in-game.
Does he realize it's in game? Is that why he's just so... Jeff, how do you feel? What are you thinking?
I definitely think he thinks it's endgame because it's like cops show up and he's just trying to get into that room. And I mean, every killer always seems to have their endgame eventually.
Now, that room. He tried a time or two towards the beginning. He talked about it. He could never get in. Is that a subtext for something about Jack? Something that in his brain, the psychology of Jack? Like, there's this one thing, and at the end he gets to open it, and he doesn't get to finish that last kill, and then he's out of there. He got the door open, and then he's gone. He's seemingly dead. Is that an anagram? Is that a anamorph of the animals inside of Jack for his constitutions?
I wonder if it's not.
Got it.
He didn't know what his masterpiece was. He didn't know what he was leaving as a legacy. I mean, murders are murders, and art is art.
Right.
What is your defining piece? And so it was kind of locked away. Like, I don't know if that room represented like a type of writer's block, or I don't know what my final piece is going to be. He's building the house. He's trying to build a wood frame because it tears it down. To build a cinder block, tears it down. I think he had one that was metal frame, tears it down. So this is like the culmination of his two loves. So this is his piece. An architect and an artist. And so I don't think he thinks of himself as a killer. He's an engineer and an artist, and he's bringing that together here, but until the very end he's kind of blocked. He doesn't know that this is what he has in mind. So really the question then becomes, is his fate determined? Was this predetermined? Because it seems like Verge pushed him to that. Like, oh, remember, Jack, it's the materials. Yeah, and so Jack or Verge kind of pushes him to the creation of the tiny human house.
Yeah, I don't feel like that was tiny, man. I mean, compared to a regular house. I mean,
right.
You're not going to move a family of 3 into that bitch. As far as I could tell. I think it maybe had 1 bathroom. And you need 2 this day and age. You need 2.
Probably just half that.
I mean, fast food isn't as big of an industry as it once was with these prices. You don't need 2 bathrooms as much. Mac brings up in Dante's Inferno, the 7th circle, divided into 3 rings, the House of Violence. By the way, please watch the painting, The Bark of Dante by Eugene Delacroix. Or the analog with the red capes and the red hood is mind-blowing. So mind-blowing. I'll look that up while we talk more and come back around, and let's.
I did some thoughts on the red cape.
Well, hit us up, and by the end of this, I'll have Eugene's painting. So go for it. Give me your thoughts. Okay, or don't. But that's fine.
Jeff, what do you think the room represents?
Where did you go?
Me?
Yeah, you said you had your own thoughts, and then you didn't talk. You were filling space so I could find the painting.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I thought... I just... This is the simplest thought I had through the whole movie. He gets the red cloak on, and he immediately kind of looks like the devil. He's the devil or the devil worshiper.
Oops.
Allegedly, when I was in high school, there was a group of Satan worshipers in Amity. You're fairly close, so I don't know if you ever heard the same story.
Don't mind the screen,
but if you
everybody.
drove out there, you could see them on certain phases of the moon having bonfires and ceremonies in their red cloaks. And so we would drive around to Amity looking for them, and we did catch sight of some people doing something around a campfire one night and had to split partly because of the urban legend. It freaked me the fuck out. We were ready to G-O.
You were done.
Oh, yeah. So he looked like an acolyte or an acolyte of the devil, or the devil, the analog for the devil, when he got the red cloak on. So
let's examine the painting. Let's look at it. Get this bitch up here. And here is Eugene Delacroix. Is that here's his painting. And obviously we see the red hood there. I don't have if I'd had time, Mac. I've got such technology now, you won't believe it. I can circle things and stuff with Microsoft Paint. Pretty
fancy. Pretty
upscale. But I mean, this looks very much like the scene when they go to the Netherworld, which real quick before we get into as we go into this, when they go into the hole in the House of the Bodies, right? Like that whole segment is crazy wild to me. Going through the cave, it's getting smaller. The water is rising. I'm like, I hate this. I hate everything about this. I don't want to watch this. I don't want to be here. I hate that shit. But it's great. It's great because it's horror that affects me. I love it because there's not a lot that does that. But then we get that slow-mo frame of essentially a version of this painting. How did you guys feel having not seen it before when you get to that point where the movie does that kind of gear shift and you're like, okay.
It's such a dramatic shift that it really it's jarring, which I think is part of the point. There was a little bit of what the fuck is happening? Where did this hole come from?
Right.
You don't time to focus on that because you're on to the interpretation. At least my brain was on to the interpretation. Where are we going? You're at the claustrophobia.
Oh my God, it's the worst.
And then when he gets to the last circle or gets to the lowest level, and Verge is like, you're 2 floors up, man. I just brought you down here as a favor because you've given me some things to chew on. Across this broken bridge, that's the way out of hell. I mean, people have tried to climb across it, but you're welcome to, but you can't do it. You won't be able to do it. It seems like Verge is goading him,
no.
like, you need to give it a try, man. So,
like how he thought he wasn't going to go across, and he shakes his hand, and he's like, all right, you're good. He's like, no, I'm going to go across. He goes, oh, okay.
Did you think that he would make it? Was there any part of you that was like, fuck, he may get out of hell? No? Dave?
I thought he would have had this is just me, and I have been watching a little bit of the Olympics. I had a better chance if he just run and jumped across the goddamn bridge. That did not look like something I could climb across.
Yeah, there ain't no way. I'd have made it maybe 2. Probably not even the first one. I'd try to grab on that first thing and I'd be down. What's up, Tim? I really like that same effect in Doom with Dwayne the Oscar Rock Johnning. I agree. Oh, Johnson. Well, I like the first one better. Max says Eugene Delacroix? I'm not sure which one that is correct. My French is non-existent. Made this one very young, and everybody said it was his last masterpiece. Somehow it doomed the artist's vision for like 10 years. So if...
Come on, don't hold people back, man. Let's lift people up.
Yeah. There was a good Kevin Smith quote about that. He's like, comparing like 2 things, like the DC movies to the Marvel movies or something, for instance. Just 2 things that are the same but different. He's like, you don't have to tear one down to lift another up. You don't have to tear another person down to lift yourself up. You don't have to tear yourself down to lift another person up. You know, all of that. And it's... Do that, people.
Definitely don't tear yourself down to lift yourself up, because it doesn't.
And don't tear them down to lift them up. And don't tear your pants, because then you have torn pants.
Unless you tear them strategically, and then you get short pants.
Mac, is this Alon's? I can't read fucking words. I've had 4 beers. Lars von Trier. He is Jack. So I guess this is a quote from Lars. He is Jack. The killing's a rough symbol of his own works, often misunderstood, perhaps vain in an attempt to be a message at all, but artist message nonetheless, in the only medium he knows. So is this like if his mom had got him finger paints, maybe they wouldn't have choked out so many women. Maybe like 1 less. Depending on the medium. Like, maybe he needed a guitar. I'm kidding, Mac.
The filmography. Went back to look at the filmography. I had not seen Lars von Trier, but I was intrigued because a little bit of controversy, a little weird. Like, if this is the kind of movie you make, there's going to be some controversy and weirdness because of the violence. But then even outside of the actual film itself, he's inviting controversy with his actions and the actions that are happening on the set. This is in-movie stuff, Nymphomania. I heard it compared to actual pornography, and he defended it by saying, it's not really a pornography because we used fake vaginas. Which I don't know that that's any better. But it's clear that he has his own battles with depression and probably mental illness, and so,
or is at least schooled in it to some degree.
Say that again.
Or at least is schooled in it to some degree, whether that's on his own doing or if, I don't know. Because, I mean, maybe this is a Matt Dillon thing even, or both, probably. But, like, God, he plays that narcissistic, like, no feeling, no expression. Like, there's even scenes where he posts pictures on his wall, right? So he can learn expressions, and so he can refresh himself on, like, shocked, smiling, and That made me concerned about myself, because I remember being a teenager being like, I don't know that I'd really know how to smile right. And I got high once and looked at myself in the mirror and smiled, and I scared the shit out of myself.
Do that. Don't do that. Yeah.
It was anyways.
I can't use the marijuana needles anymore. But,
Jeff, have you ever got high and scared yourself? Smiled at yourself?
It is.
No. I don't get that way when I get high.
I do. I don't have to look at myself. I get high and I introspect so hard. I'm like, man, in 3rd grade, remember when I said that to that dude, that girl I liked, and I was like, yeah, baby, you and me should get married. It was dumb. She's probably thinking about how dumb I am right now. I introspect too fucking hard when I get high, man. It's not the drug for me.
I don't even know what train we were on before I started that process.
So Lars von Trier putting himself into his movies. Isn't that what all artists do? Even if you're not putting your whole self into each aspect of a movie, on some level, most of the characters in the movie, especially the protagonist, is some aspect of the creator.
It has to be something you care about at the very least, to some degree. Whether you're writing a song or making a painting, writing a screenplay, whatever it may be, you have to, what you're putting into this thing that you're creating, this story or whatever, if it's not personal to you, something like that, or like the psychology of this, which I'm just assuming Lars had some kind of interest in, for it to be this good, has to be something that he cares about to a degree. If it's none of that, if it's something you don't care about, it's just garbage, I would say, typically.
I'm glad you said cares about, Chris, because I think cares about is the right word. I think loves, if you had said loves instead, is the wrong word, because you can care about some aspect that you want to tear down and destroy, and you know, if you wanted to destroy it, if you didn't want to destroy it, if you didn't care about it, you wouldn't want to destroy it. So caring about doesn't mean like, oh, I want to love and nurture it. Caring about it could be, I'm concerned and I need to obliterate. I need to break it down. So.
Jeff, any feelings on this? This has gotten heady and deep.
No, I mean, you guys seem to be really on it, so.
Jeff, I'm wearing a shirt as a hat.
Yes, you are.
Don't take us too serious. I told you guys that props were important to me this season, and it clearly.
You have your science pen?
I don't know where it's at.
Did you find it?
I've lost it. I didn't even look for it, honestly, but Mac wasn't here. Mac, I have this to lure Nick Cage out eventually. I think one of you had like a $5 bill you were going to give me, or maybe 20, or a $50 bill. I think one of you was going to give me money to hold on to lure Nick Cage here. You don't remember the Nick Cage fun dip?
I don't remember this.
No.
You're going to write me a check for $1,500, one of you, and I was going to hold on to this fun dip.
Well, it keeps going up.
Pretty sure the fun dip was enough. I'm pretty sure the fun dip was enough.
I thought so, but one of you was like, I'll give you like a good reference for a car loan.
There you go.
And
I'm not co-signing, but I'll give you a reference.
And then one of you was like, I'll give you my house. And then the other one was like, you can use my jet. I'll keep this going forever. Moving on.
That must have been Jeff on both cases. I have a have a question for you guys. I told you I was going to bring this up in pre-show, and now seems like a great time. So I'm going to give it to you guys. I've got some ideas. I want to hear your ideas in the chat. Want a little goofy here?
We're not already there?
Apple, Chris, Jeff, what would you build with dead bodies?
What would you build with dead bodies? That's
I'm going to start with I'm going to open this up. If I had a dead body and I was going to build something with a dead body, I work from a nice little desk here. I need some desk furniture on top of the desk, the shit that goes onto the desk. And I'm going to build that out of the dead body. Like I could have the head could be a pencil holder, pen holder. Like I could put the hands up like this and they could hold files like dead arms on the desk. If I cut somebody off at the shins, like their feet and their mid shin down could be like the laptop holder that hold the laptop in place. Or so I'm starting with what would I build with a dead body? Nice set of office supplies.
Man, all right. Before we get to Jeff, in the chat, Tim Happen says probably a fruitcake. Pretty sure that's what it's made of, anyways. Open a very high-end fruitcake factory. You're going factory with it. You're not just making one fruitcake. Okay.
Disturbed.
You're going real hard.
What are you killing, Tim Evans?
It's Jeff. What would you?
I'm pretty convinced that there are human teeth in fruitcake. So
I can't confirm or deny. I assume I have infinite dead bodies. Well, yeah, you may. End of the world scenario, fruitcake factory. I would eat there. Jeff, what would you build? What would you build with dead bodies?
For sure. Build like a nice chair, table, couch.
What would you use as the armrests for your chair?
Arms.
Oh, just arms.
Yeah. Just
okay.
Arms.
I was thinking heads at first, but arms is also. I like that because then you could hold hands with your chair if you're lonely.
Yeah. Arms, the legs.
Something.
Oh.
Put the head down beside you, and you can just pet it.
Yeah. You could do a Game of Thrones thing where you build a throne from arms or heads or legs but just bodies. I don't know.
Just arms sticking out of the.
I guess that's kind of what the House of Bodies is in a way. So.
You have a head there to pet while you're sitting in your chair. You prefer a buzzed cut or long hair?
Ooh, buzzed. Definitely that buzz.
It depends on the quality of hair we're talking here.
True.
Is it clean? Is it clean hair? Is it well maintained?
Because I'm with you.
No, it's hippie hair.
No.
Yeah.
I'm shaving that shit off.
Unwashed hair.
Shaving that shit off. Clean. Pure.
Have you ever had a buzz cut? Is there anything better with a buzz cut than rubbing your own buzzed head?
That's the only thing good about it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, I had one within the last 2 years. And when my mom saw me, she's like, I wouldn't do that again. And I've had a complex ever since.
Thanks, Mom.
I'm like, you're giving me trauma as an old man. Thank you. For me, what would I do with dead bodies? I got a couple things. Number one, I would make some shelves because I need some shelves right now for 4K Blu-rays and Superman stuff. Number one, I don't know. Guys, help me. What would I use to make shelves with? What parts would I use for the shelves?
You could use multiple legs or arms like boards, or you could just use the torso and have the arms be the support braces.
I like the torso thing for my Superman stuff because then I can actually do diorama kind of things.
Okay.
Maybe get into figure photography.
kill a guy that's worked out, or a woman that has a flat chest, because you're gonna get, dad bod or something. You're gonna
a little bit mushy. Yeah, a Superman won't stand upright. Second, the second thing that I would build with dead bodies is internet for Dave. I would make infrastructure for internet for Dave. I gotta look out for myself first, Dave, and then you. Jeff, I'm not sure what currently you need physically, but I would put you here too. Is there something that you would need? A pair of shoes, jacket, maybe for the winter. Okay,
I don't definitely.
Dude, a torso
jacket.
Yeah, like the whole this part up and the arms. I mean, you could leave the hands, take them off. I don't know. This is the most graphic episode of Horror House we've ever done.
Just take all the stuff out of the inside and just slide your hands in there.
Yeah. It's like an inside hug all the time. I'm really working towards lonely people. And second, I would make just more members of the Horror House podcast viewership, the rabble, to share us and like us and favorite us and, follow those things, because that's what you should do. That's what you should do. And that's what you should do.
It really helps. It really helps us out when you like and share and comment. We really love that stuff. So,
you know who's going to highly rate this episode?
Other than Baskin Guy?
Ed Gein. Yeah, if he was still alive.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
We may be drawing a crowd that we weren't prepared for.
Right. Ed Gein's like, what would I do with a dead body? Oh, a nice meatloaf or some burgers, some chicken.
Food.
Another idea for a dead body. Another idea for a dead body, guys. Seems to be, I've done some furniture shopping. There doesn't seem to be a lot of furniture geared towards little people, aka midgets.
Don't get us canceled, Dave.
I have a hard time believing they want to be called little people, because as an outsider, that seems more offensive.
I feel like you can just look at them and know what they are. I don't know why we have to call them anything. You know what I mean?
Right. But I would make some furniture geared towards them. And let's start with the coat rack. You stand the person up, they hold their hands out like this, so their taller friends can use the hands as a coat rack, and the midget can use the
penis.
Erect, turgid, rigor mortis penis as a coat rack.
Dave, sing Arms of an Angel. Dave, sing Arms of an Angel.
Oh, hit me. Yeah.
Sing Arms of an Angel. I need it real quick.
In the arms of
when you and some of your closest friends work on the same wavelength, you can start your own podcast by going to spotify.com/podcasts and using promo code /horrorhouse
hotel room
Sarah McLaughlin, and that gives us money, maybe.
Okay, I gotta stop there before we get a copyright strike.
Max says that he would make a vintage record player, like with the finger as the pin nail, to listen to some K-pop.
That's what I was thinking when you said that. That is super cool. I could see Jackie is collecting the vinyl, just a whole arm, like
Oh, you're going big. You're going big. Or a book made out of skin, like in the movie, the Pillow Book from Peter Greenway. Right. Or the Necronomicon. You could do...
You mean the Necromonicon?
The Mamaconicon? The Comic-Con?
Inked in blood and bound in human flesh.
The San Diego Comic-Con.
So, I'm just going to go out on a limb here, guys, and say that other podcasts that came later and call themselves the Horror House have not discussed what you would build out of human bodies. And I'm guessing that no other podcast has used the terminology turgid rigor mortis penis.
Sing Arms of an Angel. If you and some of your closest friends are talking about rigor mortis turgid penises, you should start a podcast as well, in which you can go to whorehouse.podcast.anchor.fm//Sarah McLaughlin, and I'm going to stop doing this now. Okay. Jeff, how do you feel about the proceedings right now? We're really drowning you out with the turgid rigor mortis. My hair's real fucked up right now.
Penis. Don't be afraid to say the P word.
Yeah, there ain't nothing wrong with that. It's scientific. Guys, I gotta.
Nothing wrong with that because we be moving on up to the east.
Are we allowed to sing that? Is that may be? I don't know.
Dude, I hope we can sing that. I'm a big Jeffersons fan. I watched so much Jeffersons back.
That's one of the greatest theme songs of all time. I have another quick game for us to play, kind of inspired by Mac. Fellas, and people in chat. I'm gonna list the circles of hell. And I want us to be introspective here and try to figure out which one we think we would end up in. Now, if it's too personal, you can be like, pass, I'm going to heaven, bitch.
Oh.
Okay.
And we're just assuming that we don't have, like, the forgiveness of Odin.
Thorinson. So circle...
Thorinson.
Oh, shit, I don't know what circle 1 is. Is circle 1 just Earth? Okay, I don't know what circle 1 is.
Let's see. You're saying circle 1 of hell is the present reality? That checks out.
Hold on. Where are the right things? Google didn't do me right. It started 2 through 9. That's 7, right?
You need some Bing, man. You need.
I should have used Bing. Sing Arms of an Angel. If you go to bing.com/horror house and search for horror house, you can get the latest haunted houses in your area from 1985. And that can use code horror house.
From here.
Okay.
From the start.
We're gonna assume this is right, Mac. Don't hate us. God damn. Lust. Gluttony. Greed. This may be just the 7 deadly sins. Limbo. First circle is limbo. Lust. Gluttony. Greed. Wrath. Heresy. Violence. Fraud. Treachery. According to Google, this is what Google says. I don't know if it's even right. But on a quick Google search, this is what Google is like. Here you go.
Okay.
Where do you think you should be? And 10 is Dave's internet.
Truer facts have never been spoken.
I'll go first.
Jeff, I want to hear Jeff.
Oh.
Probably the first circle.
Lust. Spicy. Going spicy.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You're right. Limbo. That's a cop out. I thought you was going lust. Lust screwed. Okay, Max listed them for us. I think they'll play out from here. Yeah, I think they line up from here. Dave, what are you thinking? Or do you want to see the chat so you can be referential?
I'm not in the Twitch chat, so I can't see the pictures you're posting. I can't see. Give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks. Give me 2 weeks towards the door. Remembering what you said.
Thanks, Mac.
I'm not treacherous guy, and I'm not a greedy guy.
You're not violent.
I only got lust in my heart for my beautiful wife, but I am a fat boy, and I love to be some gluttony.
Some gluten.
Gluttony.
Circle 3, despite how you may read it, is not gluttony. Oh man. Oh. If I had a shot, I would take one for that. That is the best joke we've ever told. Lust, gluttony, grude. not gluttony. So
Don't church it up. So gluttony. I think gluttony is where I'm at. That's like my advice. I've been on a diet for a week now. And I can't stop eating. Really, I'm not on a diet. Really, I keep saying I'm on a diet as soon as payday comes. It's expensive as fuck to eat healthy.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think
tomorrow, guys, I'm on the healthy kick.
Praying for you. Which puts me, I think, at heresy, because heresy is belief or like a contradiction in Christian like doctrine, beliefs, which seems very also a cop out a little bit. Me and Jeff copped it out, but that's fine. Dave was honest. I don't know, if not that one, I would go with like Wrath, because anybody else that is using Horror House as their name after we've already used it for 5 years, obviously. Also, Universal can fuck off. Jeff remembers.
Also, Liam Neeson.
Heretics are trapped in flaming tombs. That sounds fucking rad.
That sounds metal.
As long as there's some, metal playing.
Oh, I'm sure it'd be country.
As long as you get
It's
a bust out every once in a while. With the guitars.
It's me and Dave's duo performances of Arms of an Angel. Jeff, how come you don't provide any kind of accompaniment when we do Arms of an Angel? You could do some clapping or some snapping, maybe.
I don't want to overshadow Dave. I mean,
no,
it's a beautiful voice.
His own songs.
It's an ensemble. We work together. You just jump in when you feel like it.
Okay.
Stay tuned next week, folks, because you never know.
At least, may I suggest that at least Jeff has to get the solemn look on his face and the sad puppy dog guys like.
Oh, I do solo cam myself during the Arms of an Angel because I'm. Oh shit.
Because you're
do I belong on Greed?
Maybe we give Jeff his own song, but maybe Jeff should be the Take On Me guy.
Jeff?
We find more ways to work that into the podcast.
No, he didn't.
Take on
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's have a few, and I probably will.
Let's get to our overall opinions before everybody just abandons us for being weirdos, which is fair. Dave, this was your pick. So I guess we'll start with me. We'll go Jeff and end with you, Mr. Dave. Get our overall opinions and rate this bitch, the house that Jack built. So, on me. So, I like this movie, but it's not a movie I really wanted to watch twice, let alone twice. But I think it is a little bit too long. It's a long movie. It's like 2 hours 40 minutes, I want to say.
It's very nearly 3 hours, yes.
There is some animal violence in it, which I immediately Googled to see if it was real or not. It's not real. But I repressed that memory, for one thing. Didn't remember that at all. But there are shots in this that linger for, I feel like, longer shit than they should, which adds to the length that I don't think really need to be there. And that's, Lars may disagree with me. He may challenge me to a fight. I don't know. I don't want to fight you. I'm just saying. Why do we have these shots that
he's going to Wrath?
Yeah. It doesn't need to feel like a hyper speed Michael Bay rush to the climax kind of movie. But it can also not feel like it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, which I feel like this does feel like when you're not in those moments of Jack being a crazy person. Like it can be a slog a little bit, in my opinion. You may disagree. One of us is right. One of us is also right. We're both right. How about that? Didn't think that was where I was going. It is disturbing. It is very disturbing. I would put this well above Martyrs, Martyrs is one of my favorites. I don't see how people see that as disturbing as it is. I'm just saying. I would put this well above Martyrs. Somewhere, I would say, I don't know. We got to work on the Horror House top disturbing movies, which we talked about. I love the hard left turn that it takes. I love when a lot of times when movies do that, where it's like this whole thing for like 95% of it, and then it's just like, eat ass. This is not what it is. Which is why I'm wearing this red shirt on my head. And I think that's great. But I will say, after 2 watches, I'm pretty much done with the house that Jack built. Other than the Metallica song from Load, 1995. 96? 95? I don't know. I forget. Which is a great song. Great song. Open door so I walk inside. Ball of pain makes sense. Anyways, but because of the unwatchability of it and the uncomfortableness of it, which is honest to what it is, and the length, I gotta drop it a little bit. Chris rates low. Dave, I'm sorry, brother. I'm sorry. Jeff, I'm sorry. You can. I'll give you all the assets. You can do. God damn. You can do with the Horror House what you want. I'll start They Ruin Everything by myself. We can. That's fine. 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. Jeff, how do you feel? How do you rate this?
I have to agree. It is very long. And it just, when it gets towards the end and it changes gear, it's just like, wait, what's going on now? It's really confusing. And of course, I just watched it last night, so I was up till like 11 watching this. So it really sounds like I need to give it another go through to catch some of the stuff, because a lot of stuff just kind of just like, wow, what happened? I mean, within the first 10 minutes, he's already killed 1 person. I was like, oh wow, it's going pretty good, and then it just slows down. It's like, okay, and like he's an architect, but then he doesn't really do anything, and then he's like trying to go into people's houses and then murder them.
He's an engineer, god damn it.
Wait, is he an engineer? I thought he was an architect.
Isn't he an engineer? I thought he was an engineer.
I forgot. Dave, I'm wearing a hat. That's a shirt.
You're wearing a shirt as a hat. Fair enough.
So yeah, I mean that kind of goes against the length of the film, but I mean, if I get another watch through, I might rate it higher than what I am going to rate it, which is a lot lower than what Chris rated it. So I'd give it a 5.
Oh no, I knocked a can over. I'm having a real hard time. Jeff, I'm so sorry. Oh shit. I went to get a beer.
Can I get a 1 shot? Intern, can I get a 1 shot?
My apologies. A 5. There was a part of me that thought you would be a little bit lower than me and Dave, but a 5. Interesting.
I
Dave.
had hopes, man.
Dave, this was your pick.
I had hopes.
Give us your rundown.
It is my pick. Okay, I'm not watching the Twitch feed, so
you're soloed.
You're on.
Okay, Chris, you hurt me, but not as much as I thought you would hurt me. Jeff, you really let me down here, man. You were leading me, and I was like, oh yeah, Jeff's got this. Jeff's conservative with his points too. Jeff don't throw fucking ratings around, man. So I will take that to heart, because Jeff truly is the wild card. I rate high, Chris rates low. You don't know what the fuck Jeff is doing. So I will take that, but it hurt me a little bit, man. I really thought I had something here. I mean, Firestarter is okay. It's good. I like that movie. I'm not saying I don't like that movie. The Change Thing is a good movie. It's a really good movie. The body count of 2? 1? 3? 4, maybe 4 if you count the wife and daughter as the instigating incident. Here I'm delivering 11 kills to you in gratuitous fashion. 11 kills, a decent set of titties, one of which was turned into a fucking coin purse. Deep meaning. I love movies that require thought and interpretation. If I can get gratuitous violence and that thought and interpretation, that's the Reese cup of horror movies there, man. You got a little interpretation into my gratuitous violence. You got a little gratuitous violence into my deep meaning movie. So I'm really not trying to like can pat myself on the back for this movie. I didn't have nothing with their creation. I just presented it to you.
Dave gonna give it to you. Wait for you to get it on your own. Anyway, sorry.
Way to go, DM Chris. I'm kind of torn where to go because this notebook don't go back as far because I lost my last notebook. It's gone, so working on that spreadsheet. I haven't done anything on it for a minute.
How are you writing notes? Spreadsheet in your notes?
Yeah, this is my new format. So every episode gets a page.
Oh.
The news we did on the page at the bottom. And notes. And I have a special page, special moments that I want to flag. And where they 21 minutes and 9 seconds into the Trick or Treat episode, Chris declares Kevin Bacon's daughter is Christian Slater?
What the fuck happened during that episode? All right, I'm glad you're doing this. I can't wait. So what do you?
Jeff with a 5, Chris with a 7. I've got to bring it in higher than a 7. Because I almost feel obligated to try to bring us up, but also I just want to give my true rating.
Give your true rating. That's what this is for.
And so I really enjoyed this. I thought it was really a return to what horror is. It should be some blood and guts. It's thought provoking. So I'm gonna go. I was gonna go 8. Then I remembered a coin purse made out of a titty. And I'm going to go 8.5.
8. Oh, shit. Hold on. 8.5.
It was only one titty. If it was 2 titties.
If he made a chain that connected to his belt loop of flesh, I'd have gave it another 0.5. Yeah.
I'm whipping out the calculator here. Give us an average score of 6.8.
6.8. I mean, I can see this not being every person's horror movie.
I do agree with that. I agree with that.
I don't wear a shirt on my head for every horror movie. I'll give it that. So, we didn't even talk about this.
I could understand if that turn at the end turns you off. I think that's where Stella is with it. I think she was.
I love that about
weird. She thought it was weird, and then that twist came, and she sold out. She was like, "No,
Jeff,
I'm cashing in."
Jeff, how did you feel about that twist? I forget what you said. Did you like it or no?
I liked it after a while. When it twist, I was confused, and I was like, "What is going on?" And then after I realized it was, the Divine Comedy and stuff, I was like, "Oh, this is pretty interesting." But I don't feel like it fits. It's like all of a sudden he's in reality killing people, and then he goes into the house, and then the cops are shooting all the dead bodies and not him.
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden it's this otherworldly thing. It's like, so he disappeared, or is it like they shoot him and then he's in his mind being judged?
There you go. That's what I think. I think he died in that moment.
Okay.
And I think everything else is just the symbology of what his soul has passed on to.
That is one thing that I wanted to bring up while we were talking about it, and then forgot to bring it up during my overall thoughts. So I want to talk about it now. Is, in like a more of a standard horror movie, fuck this shirt. A lot of times we'll get that payoff of the consequence of the killer, of the bad guy, the monster, them getting taken down, or at least subdued until the sequel. Obviously, this isn't a sequel kind of movie, but we don't get that with Jack. We don't get the police killing him. We don't get a final girl or final boy finishing him off. We get him literally the worst consequence of going and straight to hell. Essentially, we get to see the ultimate consequence for his fucked up ways, which you would think, this is just me talking out, I'm curious about your thoughts. I don't feel like that was enough. I really needed to see him get shot or something after everything he did. Like, right. Just seeing him fall into what would, be hell is not, I mean, sure, that's enough for his mortal soul, yes, but I really wanted to see some pain inflicted back onto him. Would have been nice. God damn. Fellas, thoughts.
Let me propose an addition to the final scene.
I'm already married.
See if this makes
pay
off for you. He tries to climb across. He fails. He falls into the river of lava. What if we added just a short scene at the end where then he appears next to Verge? Now he's kind of burnt and charred. Because it kind of feels like you kind of got out of eternal torture because what happens when you die in hell? You die and you go through that pain, and then you still have your torture to live out. Maybe that's the payoff you're looking for, but
I mean, it didn't. I don't
know
that.
I liked it. I liked the way it ended.
Yeah, I like it.
And then when the credits come on, if I remember right, the score is more like
free. I forget what the song is, but it's
crazy breeze. So.
Yeah, like you see him falling, and then happy score, Matt Dillon, let's go. Which I don't feel like we even talked about him enough as an actor in this.
Because I thought he did fantastic.
Yeah, you guys want to just do 2 episodes about this right now? We'll start the other one right now because we didn't talk about the family part of it. We didn't. There's so much we didn't talk about in the movie. We got so sidetracked with psychology and the Divine Comedy, which is fine.
I think this could be ripe for a sequel episode, or maybe we do an episode where we have one episode where we revisit anything we didn't get to talk about on other episodes. But
oh my god, a whole episode of that would be great. And the episodes that Jeff didn't get to do with us, we could put some of those in there, get some Jeff ratings for some movies that I'm sure he's seen that we just weren't there on. So I don't know.
Right. Quick question, Jeff. Where do you stand on Bud the Chud?
Chud 2, Bud the Chud.
Yeah.
Bud the Chud.
No.
Bud. Sing Arms of an Angel. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Bitch.
Mac says about that, my question is there another serial killer movie that even comes close to this film on your guys' minds? No, I don't think so. With how gnarly it is, how brutal it is, and just the depiction of this narcissistic, like the acting and the effects, I don't think there is.
I have to say that this movie has immediately vaulted into my top 10 horror movies of all time. But like I said, and so I kind of feel like I did a disservice by rating 8.5. I actually do agree with you that it's a little too long. I watched a whole movie and was only at the halfway point of this movie, so
it is a little bit, yeah. That's why it's a 10, Dave. That's why it's a 10, Dave. Mac is defending this movie top to bottom. He won't.
With you, Mac.
He won't hear your shit.
If anything, if we're not even done with this episode, and I'm ready to revisit my score. That tells you anything. The more I drink, the better this movie is.
Option there.
I can say I've never went this prop heavy on an episode. I literally got into a closet. The science pen was always here. Shirt wasn't. But I think that does it.
I'm not in the closet. Come out the closet. I'm not in the closet.
Where would you guys put this on your most disturbing movies that you've seen? Is it up there? Is it not quite up there? How do you feel?
Don't know that for me
Jeff
it's
does not agree.
Disturbing as Martyrs.
Really?
I don't put Baskin. I put Martyrs above Baskin. I do want to be clear about that. But that's probably my order is Martyrs, Baskin, this. I haven't seen a Serbian film yet. I own it. Haven't not seen it yet.
I've heard it's very disturbing.
I feel like I can't watch it while I have or living in the house. It's too dirty. For me right now, I think it's Martyrs is the most disturbing. I think the reason Chris doesn't find it as disturbing is Chris infatuated with that message that, like, what is she seeing?
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
And so I think that's kind of where I'm at with this. That I can see why it's disturbing to people. It's always a little more disturbing to normies. And the protagonist, the person you're in on the movie, the person you're supposed to identify with, is the psycho killer.
Are you supposed to identify with him?
I think that's what you're supposed to do. I think you're supposed to.
Are you a serial killer, Dave?
I'll never tell. Not while the sun is shining. I think you're supposed to. I think he's supposed to be your in. I think he's supposed to be your relation to the movie. I mean, that's always the role of the protagonist, is be something you have that grounds you into the movie or pulls you into the movie. It may be a confrontation of the you don't like, and that could be very well be what Jack is to some people in this movie. I feel like that's the point of the protagonist. So,
okay.
But I think when you like the message and you like where your brain takes the meaning, makes things less disturbing because you're relating to it more. And as not Benjamin Button.
I don't know what.
Nobody thinks they're the bad guy.
I've never seen that. I don't know where you're going. Oh, okay.
What's the goddamn? I move on.
You're on the spot. Okay. Jeff, final words. God, I'm sweating under this shit so bad, and my bald ass head, my thinning hair is not holding up.
I don't know. I thought Absurd was kind of disturbing. You know, seen Absurd?
Absurd? I'm not familiar with that.
Absurd?
Oh yeah, there's a scene in there where he sticks this lady's head in the oven, and then it shows like her like face burning and shit like that. It is like, oh my god.
Well, we will.
It's got that scene.
Yeah.
I have talked.
That scene.
Go ahead. I'm not.
Oh, go you.
I'm just saying that I've talked about drunkenly to these two several times about, oh man, what if we made our own disturbing movies list? I think we're getting there, especially starting with apparently I can't believe you rate Martyrs more disturbing than this. I'm so surprised by that. But we'll get into it. We'll figure it out, and we'll come back eventually when we get through some more movies that are on the disturbing side and talk about them. Real quick, Max says, even this one episode is less research than the Beatles episode. Thanks, by the way. You guys did terrific work. Time to revisit those scores, though. We're just the messengers.
It might be time.
We're just the messengers. Don't come after us.
It might be time to look back and give the shortcut the 666 treatment. I got you, bitch.
Tim has started controversy saying revisit this dick. You're banned. You're not banned. All right. I think that about does it for this week. Follow those things.
Let me end with a call to action. Please, like, share, subscribe, comment.
Tim got in trouble.
Likes, shares, and comments go
I think she's just talking to me.
in the algorithm. And for us, this is not. I can only speak for myself. We're not out here making a mint on this fucking podcast.
What am I doing with all this money then? What is this face?
In 4 years, we've made $45.
Don't give them our secrets! And that's from you guys using code whorehouse2 on Kroger.com.
Yeah. I love talking horror, and I think if I could just, I speak for all of us. If we could just talk about this cool shit and share it with a lot of people, that is the ultimate goal. But it really helps, and it really energizes me when I see people interacting. Mac, you've been awesome sharing and interacting and posting shit. Thank you very much. Tim Happens.
Been on the show.
So I'm not even
several times.
They live drunk, and I'm like Chris, Jeff, Tim, Mac, all the rabble.
Jen's here. Jen never talks to us.
I'm keeping all of you right here in my heart, right next to the cholesterol blockage.
Is that the phrase? I don't know. We're going to leave before I drink another beer, which I'm getting ready to do anyway, so whatever. I don't know. Why is the end always the hardest? Why is leaving you guys always the worst? Sing Arms of an Angel.
I wish I could quit you.
We could stay forever.
Oh, you
but you have only gave us $45 on Kroger.com money. We can only use that on certain products.
In the arms of
there we go. Jeff, accompaniment. This is practice. Clap.
Oh.
Or snaps. Jeff.
Away from here. From this dark, cold hotel.
I'm just going to end the stream. Because anybody that's listening to the audio version of this quit 2.5 hours ago.
You are pulled from